Do not let your eyes wander. Keep Talorx's technique in the midst of your hearts. Do not let it depart from your ears. Keep it in the midst of your understanding, for it is life to those who find it, and health to all their flesh. Okay? So that's my fucking spiel. God damn it. Again. Excellent. We will now view our esteemed guests upon the screen as we will soon be speaking live with them over the air. Yeah. Whoa. I know it's crazy. Here we go. Talorx and October666. In theory with an unmuted tab. We're trying again. Boop.
We got a double coming. Oh my god. Unlock the double. The first Pokedab. But it's actually
Baja blast me in my fucking pussy. That's what I'm saying.
Hold up.
ooh.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Swirl.
God damn, baby. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I'm a whisperer now. I am not fake. I'm fucking real. Wow.
Is it not like this? You got a fucking tea, I tell you what, you keep stealing all the tea.
Get that walk in, Maggie. Get. That's my encouragement for you to eat your ass.
If the Lord put it in thine body, thou shalt not excrete it unless it excretes itself at the time in which it is necessary by thine body to excrete. Thou shalt not blow thy mucus or load unless it hath excreted upon thy Lord.
You see my elbow? You see? Elbow? Done. Fucking woke alarms. I will never set an alarm again. Me.
Your room last time I talked to you, and
Do
I was
it.
just like,
Do it.
I felt. No, wait. I'm almost ready.
I'll squirt for ya.
Okay.
I wish I had a little more water in my water bottle, to be honest.
Bam. It's happening live.
You ready for a squirt? Are you ready?
Yes. There it is.
Thank you.
Let's fucking go.
The
Good
skill, though. Amazing.
Hey.
Too nice. Okay, we all got our cameras on.
Instead of trying to I'm gonna turn you down a little bit, October, or I don't know if you wanted to adjust on your side, maybe.
I can put headphones in. It took me a while to figure out how to turn my camera on.
It doesn't sound too bad, honestly. I don't hear an echo coming from my mic or anything either, so that should be fine.
Okay.
I just need.
Yeah, it's good. I just had to I turned you down a little bit too. It's just a little loud, but it's good. It's better to be a little too loud than
Talorx. So
yeah, I'm a loud motherfucker.
Did you turn me down?
Yeah.
Or did you turn me up?
I think I turned you down a bit. Yeah, I turned you down.
Let me crank it. I got to do that one tactic, the debate Twitch poll tactic. So we're here with TalorxLive featured here, and we're also here with October666 featured here. With fancy makeup. Ooh, that looks cool. I should have just done this last time. I should have just pulled people up while they're talking or whatever. Hey, Ferret King, thanks for gifting to Dragonfly Test 420. I guess I've spent time in Talorx's stream. I guess so. Maybe we'll pause on you and we'll go to October and talk about your stream or just you in general. I know that. I guess it was Sarah that told me that you streamed, I knew you from around, particularly from Gwen's chat, aka USA Hole. Where to begin? I guess just tell us about what you do on stream. Let's start there.
Yeah, I really like to stream doing makeup.
Heck yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, I've been a professional makeup artist for over 10 years now. I previously streamed doing makeup on other platforms, and it's just really fun, and I like to engage in it, and I like to do a lot of really out-of-the-box things. I specialize professionally in avant-garde, editorial, and bridal makeup, but for me, anything more avant-garde or editorial is my favorite, because I've always viewed makeup as it's literally art on your fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a flat canvas, the canvas is a face. And I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay. I like the succinctness of that, because you and I had a discussion about sort of the stigma, the reverse stigma that can be on people who want to wear makeup, because there has obviously been a backlash against sort of, I guess, I don't know what I would say, a patriarchal pressure for people to wear makeup or even to look a certain way. Beauty standards, I guess we could say.
Yes.
But you put it very succinctly there, I would say.
Depending what I'm doing, work-wise, or who I'm working with, or in other jobs that I've had, people I'm interacting with, depending on the goal of that job, I will admit I do my makeup and I make myself appear very differently, because I am perceived differently and I'm treated a lot better than when I do my makeup the way that I like it.
Right. So it's not, yeah. So it's that makes sense then. So it's not just there's pressure to wear makeup, but there's pressure to wear a specific kind that creates conformity, in the space that you're occupying.
Yes.
Or models conformity, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll move on from here. I mean, you recommended eyeliner for me to get, which I did get. So that was dope. I mean, it's easier to put on than the other stuff, the pencil stuff. And yeah, I mean, I have to practice with it more. It's not easy.
It takes time. It took me years to even get down eyeliner, and even then, I have really shaky hands, and I'm just it'll be what it is, and it's fine. My life will continue.
I bet your standard of shaky is you're just harsh on yourself, because you are a professional makeup person. So you're my shaky hands, but you're de-wiring a bomb.
Yeah. Exactly. Your lines on your face are so perfect. It's yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shaky hands,
with your shape, looking with a microscope at your makeup, I see it. But I do that with my artwork, in the
pinstriper at Rolls Royce.
Listen, that's really funny you said that, because some of the brushes that I use, I literally had to almost break them in half, because I would get so close to my mirror that I would smack the mirror with the end of my brush, and I was I can't live like this anymore.
I mean, yeah, leaning over. I don't know. I got one of these little ones that has the magnifying thing on it, but Almost Crystal said we call those the ugly mirrors, or maybe it was Sarah, because I can see.
Well, just don't look at yourself too much in those, and just make sure that you flip it around. But also, when you look and check your makeup, is also to take a step back. Because when we're up close to a mirror, it's gonna look a lot different versus if we're a little further away from where if I was standing next to you, this is where I would see you from.
Right, nobody's gonna be yeah. Unless you stream and you have an extreme zoom cam face that you employ at random times for dramatic effect. But it will only be for a second, so.
They're bonus surprises.
Yeah.
I like that theme. I want to just point that out, because I like what you're mentioning about taking a step back, how you don't see things accurately when you're right up close to them, which is something that we could probably all talk about in terms of deconstruction from religion.
Talk about when it comes to the Bible, if we get into the Bible, the story itself and how we view it for a Bible study, that's super important, taking a step back on how we view it entirely. So it relates very much, but I'll let you go.
Context is important. No, I will let you go, because now we will hear from you, Talorx. Give us the gist, everything, the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Oh, you want me to introduce myself, or you want me to start into the Bible? I'm not sure.
I want you to introduce yourself briefly.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Talorx. I'm TalorxLive. I talk about destructive high control groups, cults, religion. Mainly like talking about the Bible and stuff is fun, and I think it's cool. And we talk about all sorts of things. I also have a video on cults that will be dropping tomorrow. We'll be premiering. It's up and ready.
Talorx
it's
video
there.
drop.
I'm gonna hit the go button. So that's coming out tomorrow. I'm super excited for that. It's my first video that I've actually put any actual effort into. So I'm excited for that.
Actual effort?
Yeah, actual effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration to us all.
I almost wrote a script. And by wrote a script, I mean I did write a script.
I thought about putting effort into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I read like the words. I was saying like I wrote a script, but I didn't actually read the script. Like I read some of like the bold words, but
I mean that's kind of how like if you're actually sort of delivering things like on a more off the cuff, but you want to make sure you hit your points, bullet points are a great way to do that. So that's something I've recommended to a lot of people who like, if they're trying to write scripts for a video and it's not necessarily like video essay, but they want to be able to sort of like riff on something, then you can list out bullet points and try and go from there. Is sometimes a good way to do it, especially if you're not trying to sound like you're in a script or reading a script, but it takes some balancing.
True.
Yes, go follow Talorx's YouTube and my YouTube and October's YouTube. No,
I don't have one anymore.
Anymore? Oh no! What did you do makeup stuff on there or?
I tried to do makeup stuff on it. It did not go well.
Well, like we were saying about effort, sometimes maybe it's better that we don't try. Just kidding. I don't know. I find myself wondering how many YouTube channels I'll start before I finally settle with one.
Yes. No. Oh my god.
I was thinking of deleting my channel and restarting, so that I could fucking all my views.
Your YouTube or your Twitch?
My YouTube. No, my YouTube. I have like 120,000 views on YouTube. 119,990 are from my dog. Like
that's valid.
10 of them are from like the videos that I've put up. They're all there for my dog. So
I mean, it's an important gentleman.
It's true.
Hey, thanks for gifting a sub to Caroline Kwan. Oh snap! Hi Caroline. Are you just gifting it to her to entice? Makeup YouTube was vicious for a while there. I have no idea why. Is that the case? Can you corroborate this information?
I can confirm I was very much into the YouTube makeup sphere, especially in like 2016, 2017, 2015. That shit is like honestly whack as fuck. Like to this day, there was someone I was talking to about it. There's like niche, weird, like drama related things, but also like very much predator related things where like these people are still like famous and well known and having really successful careers. But like, why are they still where they are? And the thing is like, they were like, certain people were kicked out of the makeup community for a reason. At those points in time, and then they re-entered the makeup community and have been like accepted again, and then it's kind of more coming to light of like the previous issues, but also there's more stacked on top of there. For example, Jeffree Star.
I'm like, I know two makeup people, and I know which ones you're talking about.
Jeffree Star, James Charles. Honestly, there's like a very, very large amount, and it's just really sad to see that. Like, it's just very discouraging to other people that want to get into makeup or that, like, maybe watch them when they were younger. Those were pivotal people to them because I did, like, watch some of their content. Not that they were necessarily, like, for me, but I did, like, observe. But for a lot of people, like, especially younger, they were like, this is what got me into makeup. And then it's kind of like the whole, like, as we're seeing a lot of musicians kind of like, wow, you're all really pieces of shit. It's kind of like that. And, like, similar way, kind of.
Yeah. It's so having the people representative of your community being the most like or whatever community you're part of, or what people view as representative of your community, even being like the ones who are most controversial and like have the either the like weirdest skeletons come out of their closet, or they're like, you know, they're just, I don't know, they're just bad people in general. That's a kind of, I don't know, that's a problem. I mean,
yeah. No, go ahead.
I don't know. I was trying to think of how that, you know, what I would compare that to, and I was wondering about like, I'm not generally charitable towards like the types of Christians that I grew up around, even though like there's probably something to be said about that community as well. A lot of times, like we do often hear, and this is something maybe I should say. I don't know if I'm atoning. I don't know if I feel the need to be repentant right now, but like I oftentimes rail on like Christianity really hard, and like it's usually coming from a place of trauma and like just processing my own emotions. But like I do think that it's important to acknowledge as we get into this sort of Bible study here, whatever is said from my perspective, I can't speak for the others, about Christianity is from a place of personal experience. And like, I understand that like the worst of the worst in any type of religion or ideology, community, etc., however you define them as worse, isn't necessarily representative of the group. And you have to remember that people are individuals, ultimately. So that's my part of the sermon to start it off. Now we'll take tithes and offering.
Absolutely. 10% before tax. Motherfuckers, you're doing 10% after tax. You fucking stingy fucking to the Lord, he'll be stingy to you.
Yes.
That's God's money.
He will remember.
I'm actually curious. I have a feeling that like Talorx and my experience was more similar. So just so everyone knows, we were all raised religious in various contexts. I think that I was evangelical, prosperity gospel, run around the church. Kenneth Copeland, like literally the crazy guy who does the, you know, he blew the virus. Okay, he did that. Yeah. he blew the wind of God,
baby,
on the virus. Yeah. So that's my kind of background. And then I don't know if you have a similar. We're kind of in a similar area, but not totally the same, right? Talorx, like.
Yeah, similar but different. Yeah, we're both the Protestant route, and that's the thing. We're kind of the crazy Protestant side, which is a little different than our friend here. Asterisk needed. Okay. I was eventually allowed to play with Pokemon in secret.
Oh, okay, that's not allowed.
I was not allowed to.
Yeah, it was in secret.
After we got rid of all of our cards, and then a few years later, they came to it that, you know, we'll keep an eye on it, but, you know, you and I always refer to him as Jellybean on stream for his privacy. You and Jellybean can play, but keep it, you know,
keep it on the down low from the rest of the church community.
Yeah, same with Harry Potter. Yeah, same with Harry Potter.
Okay. So, and then you, October, you were raised Catholic, is that right?
Yes, I was raised super strict, like cult-ass Roman Catholic. Okay. And then eventually I ended up joining an evangelical cult for like maybe 2 years. And then I left when I was outed. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. How did, like, was it a person that brought you there? Or, like, were you like, oh, I'm finally free from the cult. I found the real thing. And then you're like, oh, no.
Funny story. Okay, so I always knew that I was not straight. I wasn't like other people. I didn't know, like, any of the words or anything. Like, the only thing I would hear in the Catholic Church was, like, you have, like, gay sex, like you're going straight to hell, like you will burn in eternal flames. And I was like, I don't really know what that is, but like, okay, cool. Also, I'm not paying attention. So I grew up in private Catholic school, and then eventually I transferred to public school. And then in like middle school, I actually learned like gay, lesbian, etc. And I was like, that's me. Oh my God, great. So I was the first person in the area. Woke as fuck. I mean, I had such a culture shock going from like private like Catholic school to public school because I grew up in like just that such a bubble where I wasn't allowed to really use much technology. I wasn't allowed to really consume media unless it was like literally edited and filtered. And so like I quite literally remember like not sleeping the night before my first day of public school because I didn't know what like normal kids wore to school because I didn't know how to like dress myself. Really it was rough. But so I came out in middle school. I was the only out person. When I came out, I got shunned by everyone in my whole school. That was just weird. Yeah, I was like the kid who was really friendly. Like I said hi to everyone. Everyone said hi back to me. And then like I came out and then everyone was like, actually, you're dead to me. And that was weird. But like, so some other stuff happened, and then I ended up joining that evangelical cult because I wanted to actually get closer with one of my siblings. And they were all like, hey, like, it's cool. We love you for who you are. It's fine. But like, there was still that underlying, like, uncomfortable pressure of like, you're straight, right? Yeah. Kind of a thing where like literally like I got preyed upon and apparently like one of my legs like grew in length a little bit and that would cure all of my back problems, right? It didn't because then my ass was in a wheelchair like a year later because I couldn't walk because of other like reasons.
Was this place called Bethel by chance at all or no? No.
It wasn't. Okay. I don't know. I'm sure the name is like a lot of people use it, but all of the primary elders who started this church are all from South Africa, specifically like Johannesburg. So I don't know that in relation to like other evangelical like cults or religions. I'm not really super aware, but everyone primarily in that cult was from South Africa, which is really interesting. Especially because the area that I live in there, or that I lived in, no one was really from anywhere else, to be honest. But anyway, so I pretended to be straight for like 8 months. That was horrible. And then I came out like to myself again, I guess, but I kind of already knew. I was like, no, this is weird. Anyway, but then so actually my sibling who I joined that cult to like get closer with outed me to our biological parents, and they very much knew how they would react. And they unfortunately did it because they were jealous I wasn't spending enough time with them, which is very unfortunate.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It is what it is, but honestly, I don't think if I didn't go through what I did, I wouldn't be who I am today. So kind of quickly, briefly overgo that. So because I wasn't allowed to really use like the internet or was heavily filtered and like media and everything, I basically was, when I got outed, I was put under a version of a house arrest. So the little like internet contact I had was cut off. I couldn't use electronics. I did a lot of like, I was super athletic and I did a lot of like extracurricular activities. I wasn't allowed to do any of that. Like literally it was like you can go to school and then you can come home, and also like you don't have a door. I got like shipped away to live with like a relative who's even more like Roman Catholic than my biological parents. I had to go to church every day. I quite literally, wait, can I do hand motions of like profane things? Is that TOS?
Nah, I don't.
Depends
on what it is. I don't know.
I literally
I think it's probably fine.
Okay, I had so many meetings with so many different priests, and I had a lot of family members, the people that I really loved, like tell me like that I'm damned to hell, like just you're going there, like you're dead to me, all this stuff. But I had a priest literally go like, hey, this doesn't work. This doesn't work, only this works. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me now? I was like, I'm like 15.
Grooming is always coming from beside making the accusations,
it's super
okay, Jesus. I did end up unfortunately being put through conversion therapy as well, which really sucked. But I mean, honestly, none of that through that whole time deterred me from not being who I am. And it just kind of like well, this really sucks and very sad times. But actually, ironically, that's how I got even more heavily into makeup because I spent so much time alone. Makeup was how I like started to really like cope and deal with kind of what I was feeling. It gave me something to do. So I had a really great creative outlet during that time. Of course, along with music, I had a little Walkman and I would play like my favorite album on it. Pretty great. And then I ended up getting kicked out when I turned 18 because my biological parents didn't want to kick me out when I was younger because that would not look good to other people in the community and the church and the relatives because of the whole like legal age. So I got kicked out when I turned 18, and thankfully I did guard like the flags. Someone who was on like my guard team, if you will, their parents let me stay with them while their kids were in college. And without them, I would have definitely been hella homeless. But yeah, that's just a little mini backstory.
That's just so crazy.
That's not even like an eighth of it.
God damn. Fuck. Well, we're happy you're here, and
me too.
Goddamn, dear Lord.
Yeah, that you persisted. I mean, I think one thing that's interesting, you mentioned like, you know, despite the attempts to crush your soul basically and say you can't be who you are, you persisted through that. And I think, I mean, one of the things that's unfortunately so fucked up about it is that, like, you know, people either come through that in that, you know, with that, or they, you know, wind up being extremely depressed, or like they wind up being self-hating and like actively lashing out oftentimes against like the LGBT community, and like that we see that kind of stuff all the time. None of them being good outcomes for those people. It just, I guess what it goes to show when you kind of examine it from that perspective, in my opinion, is that like you cannot crush like who people really are on the inside. You can sort of corrupt it and twist it and make a fucking weird little like monsters come out of it, like that hurt everyone, including the person who experienced it the most. But you can't actually change it. Like, and you know, I'm glad that you've found your way through that and you had that creative outlet, because oftentimes in self-discovery, the creativity and the creative outlet, I think, is like, it's really what like you can grasp onto, you know, to find who you are. And you may not know. If you don't know, like, you can look for it that way. You can search.
It helps ground you too. Yeah. I feel like keep some sanity to an extent, whatever you have left.
Yeah. something to look at right in front of you instead of like whatever they're trying to put in your head.
Yeah, or things that like feel far away. Like it just gives you something that's more of like right here, right now.
Well, that is very interesting, and I hope to like learn more about it at some point about you. I think that's really fascinating. I was trying to remember, like, I feel like maybe you told me, you mentioned the album that was your favorite album. Is it Bring Me the Horizon? It's not Bring Me the Horizon, is it?
It is. So I'm actually wearing a Bring Me the Horizon shirt.
Oh, let's go.
Well, this is Drop Dead. This is the singer's clothing line.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yo, nice. That shirt, fucking not necessarily that shirt, but that symbol on your shirt. I don't mean to change the topic because it is on topic. The Bulls logo. The Bulls logo. I know that one's changed a little bit.
Everything is on topic here.
I was brought up believing that logo, if you flip it upside down, is this devil, this demon, reading the Bible. Like the wrinkles on the bull's forehead is the Bible, and the table is dripping with blood. That's the red tips on the horn, and he's like doing a sacrifice. It's the devil doing a sacrifice, like over like the Bible. And it's the Bulls logo. Every time I see it, like I think about it, and it's like, have you seen that shit upside down? And it's like, yeah, I was like taught that shit, like some conspiracy theory ass shit.
That reminds me. Have you seen the Monster Devil Lady?
Yes, of course. Bottoms up and the devil laughs. Yo.
Yes.
I have a monster. Yo. So I am not an expert in Hebrew or anything like that, okay? But her claim was that this was vav, vav, vav. I know minor Hebrew. I know my alphabet, okay? Which is the alphabet in Hebrew. And, like, the letters are attributed to a number, right? So, 666, if it's vav, 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 it's the sixth letter in the alphabet. But this is not a Vov. This is okay. So if you look, oh fuck it. Okay, if you look, this front one is a Vov kind. Oh fuck! Come on,
there it is, right there. You got it right there. There it is.
This first one is not attached. It looks like a Vov. This little like thing here. If you look up Hebrew Vov, it's gonna look like this. Okay, fucking. These are attached. This is like a het. Fucking, this is not two Vovs.
I don't know, bro. Looks demonic to me. I could see
demonic to me, brother.
Like, that's not...
Straight from the devil.
They're separate. They're separate. They're not the same.
That's exactly what a fucking Satanist would say about it.
Bottoms up and the devil laughs. But the second two are connected. Or I guess it's first two when you're looking at it this way. These are connected. This one isn't.
I almost feel like the lady who did that is the same lady. I don't think it is, but in my mind, I'm saying that it is the same lady who says that if you drink one margarita, then what do? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. God.
Yes.
God damn.
It seems like the same person in my mind.
Are you trying to trigger some shit over here? Are you trying to fucking set off some fucking dab fucking sounds and shit? God damn it. They fucking done goof chat. Who fucking got a margarita fucking dab? Okay, fucking. I'll fucking get that fucking. I'll get that shit going.
And then
let's go.
And then you can begin the Bible study for us, right?
All right, yeah, hell yeah, we'll start that. Fuck.
I have my Bible that's heretical to yours apparently because it's New King James, and you don't like that. Is that
sorry,
right?
You got the what? Sorry.
You don't like the New King James version?
We can definitely talk about King James. Fucking. Fucking goddamn! Everyone's redeeming so many dabs. I gotta take like 3 dabs. Okay, no dabs after this will be fucking accepted. But while I'm taking these, because this is gonna take me a goddamn minute, dude. I gotta take 3 dabs. I'm gonna try and take them back to back to back. I'm gonna try to make triple these to the best of my ability, and then do a Bible study. Because this one's going straight to Satan. Okay, this one's going straight dedicated to Satan. I'm gonna try to do 3 dabs back to back. If you can fucking try to like distract chat by telling us your views on the King James version and your favorite translation, and
as I was taught, the objectively true translation, which only real Christians read, unlike the fake Christians who read the other kinds of translations, apparently, fucking is true.
Well,
that's my take.
I was gonna say I was telling Talorx earlier. I didn't know which one the Catholic Church uses, but in the cult I was in, we did use New King James.
New King James. Okay, so the evangelical cult you were in.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that? Like the evangelical group? Like, was there anything in particular about it? I don't know that you would reveal or like discuss. I know. Is that where they did the conversion therapy, or was that before?
That was so. I had joined that cult before, but I left when I was outed. But my biological parents have always stayed like hella Roman Catholic, like extremists, if you will.
Right.
So they were, during that time, they were just happy that like they had children that at least seemed to like God, because we were all very anti-Jesus from having it shoved down our throats since birth. But the conversion therapy was
yeah, I don't know if they said, I don't like actually know, because I know Talorx is going to talk about like the scholarly understanding of these translations, and or maybe, I know that's like with Alt Miss Frizzle as well. They're always like, they study it from that perspective. I'm like, okay, I remember getting it pounded into my head all the time. Like, this is my dad's Bible. Sometimes I flip through it, it's like the entire page is highlighted and shit. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? Fucking, there's too many. You fucking put the highlighter. You put the cost of highlighters, like, you raised it, bro. Like, highlighters and pens. What is this? Psalm. Safety of abiding in the presence of God. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't really know, like, Are the words of Jesus highlighted in red in this one? Yes, they are. So that's a thing.
Some red letter Bibles. Let's go.
Yeah. So you can just flip to read those
right,
and then become a socialist. If you'd rather just skip to the end part. That
One more.
Be my advice. I don't know if you asked us for what our favorite verses. Is that what you asked for?
You can do that if you want. Oh my god. Yeah, favorite verses, but two, but if you want. But I said translation.
Oh, my favorite translation. I don't know. I don't. This was the Bible that they taught us, and I don't know. Like they all basically seem the same. Like when I read other translations, I can see why, like, from a readability perspective or like a language accessibility perspective, like some of them might be better just from that outside standpoint.
Hail Satan!
Hey, let's go. Hell Satan. Thank you for 18 biddies.
Sorry, I'm not trying to cough over y'all.
Yeah, but
fucking y'all signed up for this. Sorry.
You're dying in hell right now. We can see you.
Absolutely.
As deserved. Oh, this one has a nice index in it. The anointing which you have received from him abides in you. Why is it? Never mind. I don't know why I can't like read anything Christian without it being sexual. Is that like a thing that is common?
I mean, I was just trying not to make your mom jokes when you were talking.
I almost said D's nuts earlier when I was.
Every time. Listen, my brain only works in your mom and D's nuts. Okay, that's what it is.
I mean, I think it's okay. I think we could be okay with it. We don't have to apologize anymore. We'll
nuts for everyone.
Yes.
I only have
Baja Blast.
Hey, I kind of said Baja Blast wasn't that good earlier. I don't know. So I'm sorry.
Take it back. Which is your favorite flavor then?
Of Mountain Dew?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I used to drink so much fucking Mountain Dew. Like, we drank so much Mountain Dew. We literally had a character, Mountain Dew Man. Oh, Zach was Mountain Dew Man, who happens to be here right now. He had Mountain Dew pants. Mountain Dew, like, what were they? Like, pajama pants? And he fucking... Do you need a stereo input cable? Look behind that blanket, and there's a thing hanging up underneath the mantle that has a bunch of stereo cables. That's what you need.
To run the line out to the computer.
Like a fucking 3.5 millimeter?
Yeah.
Alright, engineering things. Yeah, so, and then what else did you wear? I don't know. He, like, pulled the pants up and, like, taped them up and then put on this crazy ski hat I had. And then we ran around town and he shouted Mountain Dew. That's what we did in the small town where there was nothing to do.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning of the adventure. But anyways, I don't know. Probably just regular old Mountain Dew, I guess. I just haven't had it in so long. I just remember, like, at band practice, just, like, I would drink that shit like water. And I had, like, a stack of Mountain.
Well, it is water. Did you know, though?
It's the nectar of
Mountain
life?
Dew, yes.
Okay.
But Mountain Dew actually, is very popular in Appalachia. And it actually would be cheaper than water, which is why it became so popular. But Mountain Dew, so that also contributes to a lot of, like, health issues, among many other things.
It's Mountain Dew. It's
but so good. Mountain,
it's good. Tastes good for you, right?
Hell yeah. But so Mountain Dew then had like I don't know if stigmas. I don't think stigma's the right word, but it was kind of like, you know what certain brands are known for, like what you attach them with. So basically, Mountain Dew, people were connecting it with what they would view as, like, I guess I hate to say the word, but like hillbilly type shit.
Right.
And so then when they rebranded, they were like, yo, sports, video games is how we're going to market and rebrand ourselves to the mass people so that they'll buy our shit. And, I mean, look where they are now.
The Globus never sleeps.
Hey, what up, Globus? Thank you for the raid. We just got a Globus raid in. Hi, Globus. Hope you had a good stream.
Ooh.
We're doing our Bible study with Talorx.
Globus never sleeps.
And October666th. Globus never sleeps. Hey, what up? Reader Rap coming back.
Fucking never.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hi. we're about to get into it. I think Talorx just finished their dab sesh, or
I got fucking forced to do a triple dab. So I'm here after completing said triple dab. Fucking welcome, Carpet. Great to see you. Oh dear Lord. Oh goddamn. But yes, I'm here. I am ready, and we can talk about the good Lord. How much?
Thank you for the Mountain Dew facts. I just wanted to acknowledge that. I remember seeing like when they do the original sugar real quick before we get to the study. When they do the real sugar version of it, like don't they go back to like old school branding of it, and it's more of like that aesthetic that you're mentioning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a closet full of Mountain Dew, and I made sure to buy every flavor they had available. And I had many.
We got a Mountain Dew aficionado.
Yo,
they were
I didn't realize I was in their presence.
It was like 4 cases for like $10 or less, like one year, a long time ago, around like Super Bowl, and I said, "You're coming home."
Hey, my dad worked for PepsiCo for a while, and he always got the like expired supposedly shit. So like, there was just stacks of every kind of every kind of Pepsi product everywhere.
That's sick.
It was pretty. It was pretty sick for a while. I think that's why I don't like soda as much. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing though. That's better for your health.
I understand the appeal of Mountain Dew, but I don't like Mountain Dew. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian. It's not really a big thing here. I Mountain don't. Like Taco Bell's like one of the few places you can get Mountain Dew. Like you can't really get it anywhere here in Canada. I maybe it's just not a super Canadian thing. Maybe that's it, but
probably not.
You don't get it a whole bunch.
Isn't it mostly orange juice? Like that's the main ingredient. Orange juice
in Mountain Dew or in like Canadian beverages.
Mountain Dew. Canadian.
All Canadian beverages must have at least 30%
Canadian diet is Mountain Dew. I mean orange 0%. Juice.
30% orange juice. Okay. By Canadian regulation, everything must contain at least 30% orange juice.
Fuck. I don't know if I like orange juice that much.
Well, it doesn't matter here. You're getting it.
All right, fuck it, let's go.
Yep. Sorry.
At least as long as I can go to the dentist sometimes, maybe.
Occasionally, but fucking that's not covered here.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, your dental's not fucking covered here in Canada, so.
It's not?
No.
Interesting.
Bible do or Bible don't, am I right? Absolutely. Sorry, how much time do we have? Just so I can know how to fucking...
Oh, yeah.
We have about, until I'm supposed to talk to Homozygote, we have now 36 minutes.
36 minutes. Fuck my ass. Okay, we will fucking do this shit quick. Maybe we'll fucking just talk about what started.
Because before we can get it started casually. I like the sort of casual discussion and everything, especially for people to get to know. Because my idea for this, and we talked about this last time you were on stream, Talorx, was a recurring thing where we do this type of Bible study. You and I probably would do this regularly, I'm sure, if we find a time slot. And then October, you'd be welcome to join whenever if you felt like it. And there are plenty of other people in the community who have either religious backgrounds or might want to join from other perspectives. I kind of looked at it speaking of Marcus, aka Homozygote, something similar to how Ministry of Science will have some set hosts and then people who kind of rotate in host positions, or maybe guest ministers, we could call them. That's what we call them in our church. I feel cringe saying it. I hate that I said it.
Blessed ministers?
Guest ministers.
Oh, best ministers.
Guest with a G.
Oh, guest. Yeah. Based.
Yeah, that's when that's when I saw the people from Tulsa, Hillsong people or whoever, come in and run across the chairs and pretend that they were laying their hands, non-consensually putting their hand on my head, and I had to pretend that I fell down, which I guess I did, but I was trying to get away, and there was peer pressure involved, so yeah. That's what you could do.
Everyone just start falling over.
Yes, pretty much upon command. Tim Up, thank you for gifting us up to Chromatic Mage. Let's go. Ministry of Religion.
William.
Ministry
of These Nuts.
Ministry of These Nuts. Thank you.
Oh, Ministry of These Nuts. Let's go.
I need a name. Can we get a name tag? Make it official.
Fuck
get
it
embroidered.
Yo, so I guess to get into the thing, fucking, I guess I don't really know how best to fucking start it here. I kind of wanted to fucking start kind of like at the beginning and ask kind of like, what are your thoughts on like, what is the creation story in the Bible? Like, what does it mean to you? Does it mean anything? Is it just kind of like a dumb story that's just stupid? I guess, like, what are your kind of thoughts on, like, the Bible creation story?
What does it mean to me now, or what did it mean to me?
Maybe a bit of both. If it ever meant anything, is it just dumb or silly? Or, like, we could go over it, but, like, I don't want to fucking... We'll cut through it, maybe, and dissect it as we go. I just want to make sure we're not wasting time.
You can go ahead, October, if you want. If you feel like you want to.
If that makes sense, my question.
Yeah. So I will preference with saying, like, I've genuinely never fully read the Bible at all. I think it was just because from as far back as I can remember, I genuinely didn't believe at all, and that coincides with this just might get dark for just a moment for chat. I grew up being like what? Hey.
I didn't realize that I wasn't muted to you guys.
Okay, you're good. I grew up in an incredibly physically, verbally, and mentally abusive home. Like I would be physically beaten like every single day. So that paired with like the intense like Roman Catholicism of it being shoved down your throat with like genuinely no other choice. For me, from such a young age, I was like, well, if God was real, then why would this be happening to me? Or like if God was real, like when they would apologize and say they'd never do it again, why are they doing it the same thing the next day? And like that cycle continuing. So I just kind of like cut that shit off really early because I was like, this shit's fake, at least from that stuff. But for me, the creation story, I always just thought it was really weird. Like, how can something just kind of like poof decide some things to appear? I know I was mentioning to Talorx earlier, that is definitely what like my biological parents believe, where like they genuinely cannot fathom like evolution or anything like that. Like the only way is God, and I don't think that their brains will ever really be capable of like fathoming anything else but that, if that makes sense.
No, most certainly. Fucking and kind of that poof into existence thing. I'll bring up the thing that we kind of touched on earlier too about my mom. But Levelhead, do you have any things that you wanted to say about it, things or anything like that?
Yeah, I think that like, I don't know, in relation to the evolution thing, because that's where my mind kind of goes, is like I was raised in a fundamentalist household, so like I was homeschooled and I was taught like Christian Science. I had Christian Science textbooks that like, did apologetics. They try to debunk, whatever they called it.
Evolution.
There's a broader terminology for it, for like the age of the Earth, right? Like, because they had to debunk that to be able to be like, the Earth is only 6,000 years old, obviously.
Like Big Bang Theory and like fucking
or saying that the fossil record's not complete, or like how could the fucking Grand Canyon flow up, whatever. Like there was all kinds of crazy shit in there. Yeah, carbon dating's not reliable because of blah blah blah. Like all of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of weird. It's really interesting because like my mom is the editor of a newspaper. She's super smart. Like and I don't know how, this is something I often ponder, and like she can't even really wrap her head around it still, because we've all kind of deconverted, which is interesting as well. Not super common for that to happen to like a whole family, especially not a pastor's family. But like, like I often contemplate, how did she put that in front of us? Like knowing, because she was also teaching us things like critical thinking, speech and debate classes, and like, I guess like she taught us about, like self-reliance, and we did a lot of like sustainability stuff, and like, so I don't know like where her brain was compartmentalizing things, and that's kind of a sidetrack. But like, I do go back to the evolution thing with the story of Genesis, because I'm like, ultimately that is what, like, I don't know. It's not what led me to deconvert, but it was sort of a stepping stone, because like I had a friend in high school, and this was when I went to public school, like around, I think it was my junior year of high school. Fortunately, it's a small enough town that I like kind of still knew people already, but like, I ended up making friends with this kid who like, you know, he was an atheist, and we would debate about these things, and he had not come across those like apologetics, Christian apologetics arguments before, and I also had like fucking debate bro ability basically. And so like I would feel like I was always like smarter than him until eventually it wasn't like an argument won or whatever, that an argument lost or something. I was like, oh, you know, his name is Dante, ironically enough, but it was like it was later on when I was contemplating hell, and it was generally evolution or those types of things that we would debate. I was like thinking about hell. And when I had come to terms with the fact that Dante was never going to ever believe that what I believed. And I was thinking like, but Dante is not a bad person, and Dante's going to burn in hell for eternity, eternal fucking torment, punishment, like, which is the type of hell I was taught about. And I know that a lot of like Christians don't even talk about that.
Different thoughts,
Yeah. So that's kind of like what led me down the path. And like, I don't know. He even said to me one time, he was like, he said his dad was Christian, and he was like, my dad just doesn't understand, like, he says he doesn't understand how you're so smart, but you like don't believe in evolution. And I was just like, well, I guess I was compartmentalizing things like my mom, but I don't know. So yeah, there's some significance in that, like in terms of how it led to my deconversion, but other than that, like, it represents a lot of things. It represents like the original establishment of patriarchy, or whatever we talked about last time.
Yeah, it was definitely the first establishment of patriarchy, for sure. Definitely. Did you believe in a literal 6-day creation or no?
Yes.
Yeah, did you, October, or no? Like, you said you didn't really believe fucking from the beginning. Like, were you taught evolution and shit, or was it just something you just never thought about or gave a fuck about, and then eventually we're just like, oh yeah, I watched Bill Nye, or listen to the intro to fucking The Big Bang Theory, you know?
I didn't know The Big Bang Theory existed. I wasn't allowed. All the movies I watched went through something called clean films, which they edited movies, so I didn't even see people like hold hands or kiss.
We just had to close our eyes or like leave the room. Our parents were like, "You got to leave. There's kissing." Like,
oh my gosh, that wouldn't even be in any of the movies.
Yo, fuck.
And then I would see it at someone else's house, and I'd be like, "What are you watching? What is that?" Yeah, very culture shock, I guess. I don't know. I never saw people show affection like that. Yeah. It would make me start sweating. Like, I would be so uncomfortable, like, watching other people, like, show normal affection towards each other. Like, I'm like, why am I like this? I know why.
This is so sad.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, we live, we grow, we evolve.
It's just more of, like, that theme of, like, how like, that kind of distorted, I guess, exposure to like what is normal human behavior and what isn't can like break your ability to show affection or to like express yourself in positive ways in your relationships, which is really fucked up, and I hate it.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
absolutely.
That was a great point that I had on the end.
No, it's really great that you actually said that, because something that kind of about me that kind of is related is, so I'm first generation, so something I see a lot with like East Asian families, or at least like for me, like Vietnamese families, is that a lot of parents don't show affection like towards each other in front of like their children, or like proper communication. So like those demonstrations of like what like say a healthy relationship should look like, all these things, like that's not something that's openly shown or actually talked about at all. Like that wise, just wanted to throw that out there. But I am mixed, so it is very interesting seeing like the differences in how both of my biological parents were raised and all of that, because my biological mother, who escaped Vietnam, she was not originally like Roman Catholic, but my biological father was. So it was more like she converted for him, but also it was like to appease his mom. So it was really weird. But then she took it so much harder, like more than balls to the wall. I don't know. Very odd. But back to creation. I think as a kid, I probably believed it because I genuinely had no knowledge of anything else. Like in private school, I didn't even learn about anything except religion. Like I didn't even learn how to subtract math until first grade. And then that was a whole humiliation thing that like my teacher did. And that was a nightmare. But once I learned about evolution, I was like, this lines up, makes sense. I don't see how this could not make sense. And that other shit, like, I thought that was kind of, like, weird and kind of, like, sus as fuck. And it just kind of, like, made everything more clear, I guess.
Fair.
That makes sense.
Fair.
I don't know if I could see because I could see where it was weird because I had been given all these fucking weird ass arguments that were like, well, what if the blah blah blah? It was all bullshit. Like it was all fucking bullshit. But like I was what? How old was I? Like I think somebody in chat mentioned earlier. Like I've always been science minded, or I can't see how you would believe something that can't be measured. Blah blah. It's like, well, you're 4 years old, and your parents, who you trust more than anyone in the world, and you believe literally everything they say, literally tell you, like this is true, 100%. You don't. Why does it like that? Will fuck your brain up. I mean, like you can find your way out of it, but. You have to find your way out of it. Like you have to figure out a way. So
yeah, I had a very 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 similar situation to LEVLHEAD. In that like I grew up in a school that I was taught young Earth creationism. The Earth was 6,000 to 10,000 years old. 10 literal days. Noah's flood really existed. All of those things existed.
Yep.
I was also fucking taught that like Moses wrote the Pentateuch, or like the first 5 books of the Bible, which didn't. Fucking Moses, for the most part, like probably didn't exist. The reason why I bring that up, and I'm gonna gloss over so much shit here, is that when it comes to creation, like there's 2 stories. There's not just one story of creation. There's
2
story
stories.
1. Absolutely.
I'm gonna remember that.
There's 2 stories, and there are multiple writers. There are multiple writers of the first 5 books, and they kind of came and fuck them together and just globbed them together, and you'll kind of see a connection. The first story is the 6 days of creation. You know, the let there be light, and then separating the waters and all of that. One thing that I think is super interesting to kind of point out, and something that I think is really important. I'm just going to touch on it. I'm going to pull up my screen if you can show it. So on BibleGateway.com, I highly recommend if you're going to do anything on the Bible just online. This is a great thing. Click the fucking 2 little things here and you can get multiple readings. But right off the hop, I personally like the non-revised standard version over like the King James version because it's more accurate. Let me just pop this up on my screen too so that people can see it.
More accurate to like
our modern day readings, our understanding with more updated manuscripts that we've found with our current research and understanding. Certain things that were not supposed to necessarily imply gender, but like said like men and he and stuff are like non-gendered. You know, stuff like that for like better understanding and clarity.
Okay. So we have just to reiterate, though, you said we have there are two main stories which were pulled from 6 disparate stories before that.
Okay, sorry, no. So, okay, so if we're talking about the writers of like the Pentateuch. The first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Those books.
Yep.
We could go on for hours and hours about documentary hypothesis. We don't have time. But there are essentially a couple of different writers, okay? And then there are people who came in and pretty much put stuff together. Fucking, just for quick reference, Genesis 1 to Genesis 2, 4a to Genesis 2, 4b, onto like Genesis end of 3 are the separation of the 2 stories. And we'll look at that in a sec here. But there are 2 stories, is what you need to know. but there were multiple writers, and multiple stories have multiple stories. To say it differently, like there's different stories in Noah's flood. If you read Noah's story, there's weird shit that doesn't contradict. How many days is it? Was it a dove? Was it a raven? What's going on here? What's happening? It seems weird. Well, no, it's actually two different stories that were like split together into one. Joseph, there's two stories there. You see it a lot in the first 5 books. The same story told multiple times, but in different ways. And the reason I bring it up is it's super important because everything's fucking different. everything's completely different between the first one and the second one. The first one is the 6 days of creation. That's what pretty much everybody knows. What I think is really interesting is this here, why I think having a better translation is important. So this here is, if you look on the left, you'll see the New Revised Standard Version, and on the right, you'll see the King James Version. So my mom, one of the things that she says is that, like, and this isn't to convert any Christians or anything. I'm not here to convert anybody. I don't care. But she always says, like, the one thing that makes her be like, well, I just can't believe in God is because I just can't believe that poof, this just happened out of nowhere, you know? And I fucking say to her, well, the Bible doesn't say that fucking God created Earth. Like, the Earth was already there. And she says, what do you mean? And when I pull out a properly translated Bible, I think it makes it more clear versus an older version. The way, and when you can't, the reason why I'm trying to learn Hebrew, I've been fucking super busy with other shit. I've been slow. I know my alphabet and I'm trying my best. Is because if you're able to read the Hebrew, you can really understand it better, you know? So here's the difference. We'll read the King James Version, or the words that like most people fucking know as the beginning of the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. End. Period. Statement. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So God creates the heavens and the earth. And then the earth is without form and void. And the darkness, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, like, in fucking, when done, translated properly with, like, a New Revised Standard Version, when God began to create the heavens and the earth, comma, the earth was complete chaos, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while the wind of God swept over the face of the waters. This is a different story. This isn't God saying, heavens and earth, boom! Aha, okay, void, darkness. This is...
beginning the
process. Thank you, Vegcom. Absolutely. This is a different story. This is God stepping up and being like, all right, what do we got here? All right. We got the fucking heavens and the earth. All right, this is chaos. Let's go, baby. And then God, and the Spirit of God, the breath of God moves upon the face of the waters. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is truly beautiful. But he didn't create the waters. The heavens and the earth were there. This is a story of separation and filling. He does create. But when you read it, day 1, what does he do? He says, let there be light, which separates the day from the night. Day 2, he separates the waters above from the waters below, making the sky and the waters. Day 3, he separates the water from the land, making the land and the seas. Fucking separate now. And then 4, 5, and 6, he then fills those things in the same order. Well, he separated the light and the day. What does he do now? He fills it with the sun and the stars and the moon. Wow. The fucking sea and the air, what does he do? He fills it with birds and fish.
Every time it's getting filled. Every time.
Absolutely.
It's getting split and filled.
Split and filled, absolutely.
Split and
then
that shit.
Comes to the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Filling it up real good. Just routine filling. And then day 6, the animals. Fill me up, Jesus, absolutely. And then day 6, the animals, and then the humans, which is really important. The fucking order of birds and fish, then other animals, land animals, then humans, is really important because it's different in the second story.
Interesting. I love how that is just so easy for your brain to actually grasp the words and understand, versus I feel like New King James is kind of like, at least for me, like I'm seeing words, I'm reading them, but my brain isn't really computing what the fuck I'm reading.
Yeah.
Well, I've also like looked into this and like read stuff on it and things like that. Like, I'm not a fucking mega brain. I've just like read about it. Fucking, I'm very dumb. But fucking like that is super interesting, and like to see it as what it kind of like is like poetry and like literature in terms of like a tale, a story of like showing and explaining something. Like it's pretty much just they stole like fucking Mesopotamian myth like from like Inky and shit. Fucking, but yeah, fucking it's pretty much fucking stolen fucking like Tiamat and shit. Like it's that's pretty much all it is.
Interesting.
But it is super interesting.
What is Tiamat from?
Like Mesopotamia, fucking yeah. In that,
it's just interesting because it's like one of the most iconic D&D campaigns is something Tiamat. I don't know. Tiamat's like a 5-headed dragon with like each head is like a different color, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The story is called the Enuma Elish, is like the name of like the story that it's like kind of like based on, and kind of like a, hey, well, here's what my god did kind of thing. And
yeah.
Interesting factoid, and like I only know this because I fucking read it, and not because like I know how to be a Hebrew master. But like the word fucking that they use for like
that's what I was expecting from you.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I'm not an expert. I'm sorry. I'm just a dumb fuck. I just read things and say, "Wow, that's really cool." I like those things. Fucking, but like the term for like the deep is like Tahom is like the word, and it comes from Tiamat. You know?
Oh, interesting.
It's kind of like you know, like instead of Talorx, like you call me Tal. It's like Tiamat, like Tahom.
Okay.
And it comes up multiple times, and like there's like the Leviathan, like there's a lot that goes into this, which we don't really have time to go into. But fucking, it's another kind of final thing that I will say here is, this year is where they're fucking going over that shit, and then, fucking when he fucking makes humans, he says, so God created, so yeah, here. Genesis 1:27. So God created humans in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. So like this is important. Like, yes, the word comes first, the word comes after, but like this has sparked a lot of debate for a long time. Because like when the woman was created in story 2, like Adam and Eve, is very different. This makes it seem like they were almost created at the same time. You know?
Okay.
Like that,
a lot of
you know, hey, God's like, hey, let's do this, and created them at the same time.
Yeah.
There is actually some lore that fucking they were just like one being and were attached together, and then were eventually split, because what was later changed to rib actually comes from like, is actually side.
Okay.
But like, I don't know.
would go with that theme, right? Of like separation of the waters and the
maybe. But that is that's the second story. So like they're not actually like thematically related in any way.
Okay,
and it's
okay.
And the thematic shift is so deep. But like the male and the female may have been created at the same time, which I think is interesting.
As one.
It's funny you say that, because I really feel like I maybe learned that they were one and then they became separate, and that's why like one person has one less rib.
Yeah, well, we were told that a male has a fucking less rib because fucking the Adam and Eve story, but then we found out that they don't actually have the same number of ribs. I didn't find that till it's way too fucking old. What the fuck?
Well, I have a rib that never fully grew. It's just a little nub.
Interesting.
Oh, goddamn.
So lucky rib. Lucky nub.
Maybe you're a reincarnation of Adam.
Could be.
And the super interesting thing about like the Bible and shit is that, and like the Hebrew language, that like you don't understand unless you understand it. And like once again, I'm not trying to say that I do. I just read things about it and I want to, and I'm trying to learn. is that like the names for the most part, Hebrew names mean something. You know what I mean? Like Adam, like Adam means like man, like not like human, like mankind, like human, and like fucking Eve means like living. You know what I mean? Like their names mean different things. You know, like which is interesting, and I think is important in the situation.
You think of them as names of like as a and as identify for a person, but like if you were literally reading it as if like that was your native language, or if you had learned it like that was the way you thought of those words, their actual definitions, it's I don't know, it's just interesting it seems like something entirely different, like a world apart from the way that we look at the scriptures, I guess.
Before I show you like a weird heel turn that doesn't fucking like really seem to match, do you have any thoughts or questions or stuff that you wanted to talk about quick before you hop into this next part here about any of that other stuff?
I don't have any. I'm having a fucking blast.
Awesome, me too. This is a wonderful time. I'm having fucking fun. I like this is one of my favorite fucking stories.
We might have a little bit of extra time, and also I could also jump into Discord with us if you wanted to. I don't know if that's.
Oh yeah, I got max like 30 minutes myself.
Okay.
And then like I gotta be gone max 30 minutes, but yeah, I'm down.
Let's hear it. What else do you have for us? Because the comparison is fascinating, especially like I mentioned this earlier in a previous conversation, or when I was talking to somebody yesterday, I don't remember. Where like when I took a comparative religions class in college, when we got to the Christian part of the study, like all of us people who are at least raised around Christianity or in sort of like a Christian nation, right? At least that's what I was taught. But we were all raised around that sort of like some of these cultural ideas, even if you weren't strictly religious. And what we quickly found is how widely our ideologies differed on the most basic shit. Well, so this is getting even more in depth on that. I feel like, I don't know. It exposes even more of like why, maybe.
Is like Buddy's coming on in 6 minutes, I'm assuming?
Potentially. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay. Well, either way, like, because if so, like, this might be a good place to kind of halt, like, the Bible reading and then continue on a part 2.
Yes.
Because then we're not rushing the next shit here. And I think, like, all three of us should come together and do a part 2. Because this is where shit takes a serious heel turn. And I think it's a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to rush it.
Next time on whatever this show is called, the Ministry of D's Nuts.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so like, let me see if I can pull this back up to this view. Yeah, so I guess like
it's a little
if we have other final thoughts, we can discuss them. But like, I think, I mean, October, if you're down to return for that, we could set that up.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, let's go. So I guess we can talk about an actual name, Talorx.
Well, we could even,
or we could make that the name.
No, there you go. Fucking like we could even like talk about it in private in more detail.
Yes,
but fucking like do like a recording of like fucking a
recording of
fucking recording and fucking do it right. And fuck. No, I do like a recording of it fucking so it's like fucking
of joint engineering.
Thank you for the 532 biddies. Thank you for the 69,
fucking screen.
13, 12, 666, 420, Tim Bob. Let's fucking go Hail Satan, fuck the police. And,
True. And
smoke up. Yes. If you wish to partake.
Yes, but I'll message y'all on Discord about setting up a time to do another one, and getting it good.
Hell yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that if everyone wants to look out for that, we will be sure to promote it. And I guess before we hop off, I just want to again thank both of you for being here. Sorry that we got started late. It's been running a little bit behind.
Oh no, that's
all day,
all right.
But,
that's okay. I'm having a blast. Thank you for having me. I'm loving this conversation.
I would say likewise. for both. I've heard a lot more of Talorx's stories and analysis. A lot of yours is new to me, but both very fascinating, and I enjoyed myself quite a lot. So thank you both for being here.
Fuck yes, thank you. Fucking have a good one. Pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, have an amazing rest of your night.
Yes, thank you so much. It was just a sneak peek.
Oh my god, Tim drop. Thank you. Yeah, sneak peek of the thing. Peace.
Hey,
have a good one. It's an absolute pleasure. I'll hit y'all up in Discord, and we should genuinely set aside time to do this again. And
yes. I would actually I can come prepared to talk about the specific thing as well.
And we could probably maybe even do it off stream, so it's well recorded on both ends, and fucking we can fucking make sure that it's good and fucking clear.
I think it's great. It's perfect. Clear.
It'll be amazing. It'll be beautiful, like a podcast, a premium podcast.
Yes. Pay extra.
Paywall premium podcast, people.
Pay per view.
Absolutely.
Triple P. Paywall premium podcast. Quadruple P.
Multiple cocks as well.
Multiple pay per view paywall premium podcast.
Pay for these nuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's the end tag.
All right. Much love, you guys. Fucking, I appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all and your time.
Everybody, please go follow October and October666 and TalorxLive.
Goodbye.
Bye. Have a great rest of your night. I'll see you all in chat.
Yeah, see ya. Bye.
Yay.
It is I. Hello. But this? Oh god. Bing, bada bing, bada bing. It's almost like they're still here with me. Oh god. I won't cry. Oh my. Tab muting. 36 minutes.
36 minutes. Fuck my ass. Okay, we will fucking do this shit quick. Maybe we'll.
36 minutes.
36 minutes. Fuck my ass. Okay, we will fucking do this shit quick. Maybe.
Never did it, made a good decision. Never make another one, getting in it. Getting out of, all around her. What the fuck I'm talking about, doesn't matter, sound is.